a deep lower bracket run is pretty tough to expect in this.
You're
Crazy
like,
cool.
You're not coming back. You're not coming back from the pits.
Dude, Crazy Raccoons are gonna beat TL, so they won't even have to worry about it, Blake.
They're
It's
gonna
fine.
win it all.
No,
from,
V1
from
Crazy
free.
Raccoon's gonna meet back up in the grand
Bro,
finals.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Version 1 Crazy Raccoons to win for everything.
Who wins? Who wins?
Who wins?
Hi, we're the Infamy team, and we're hosting our Fantasy Valorant tournament for the Iceland Masters 2 tournament in Reykjavík. I just practiced this and I fucked it up.
Reykjavík.
But Reykjavík?
There you go.
I think that's right. Yeah. But yeah, so just quick, the rules for our fantasy tournament is that pros primary agents can overlap with one another. You have to choose pros from at least 4 different regions, so you can only choose one region to have 2 players from. So all you NA fanboys can double up on your NA, but no one else. And each team must have a pro for each agent role, and we determine if they qualify for that role based on their pick rate of characters in said role. So, do you have any general thoughts going to this, or?
I'm a win again.
Yeah, calm yourself.
Again.
Bold words.
Bold words.
I'm coming out the gate right now. You gotta beat me.
I don't know. We got some
Yeah,
kids in our Discord, claiming that they know everything. So we'll see. If
I think this one's gonna be one of the most competitive ones because we have like a bunch of new people who seem to know their shit. So.
And watch something other than NA. They have a significant advantage on most of our player base.
Yeah. But that's why we're here, to fucking educate them and give you guys the picks that you never would have thought of yourself.
Yeah, we kind of divvied up some of the minor region teams and kind of did a little research on them to give some notable names that you might want to consider on your lineup.
The thing
so
is, you're
start
not
things
locked
off.
in yet.
Yeah, you can edit your team up until 24th, so sign up in our Discord in the description. But now to the picks you need. Do you guys have any sleeper Sentinels picks for that role? I know Sick is like everyone's go-to, it looks like, and currently enrolled out of the free players. He's a 51% pick rate.
Yeah, like almost everybody has him. I mean, like we said before, most of these kids are NA only, so like they're gonna pick what they know, and like the kid's consistent, so like he's not a bad pick. But like
Yeah.
I saw some people pick Neff, and I'm like, he is like one of the most consistent Killjoy players in the league, and I'm like, he might be like a Yay situation where like I don't see Crazy Raccoons going far in the league, like in this tournament, but he might pop the fuck off in the 2 games that they get, so he might be a solid pick.
Yeah, is how like who's playing who and like in the order of a bracket. So like when you are picking your teams, like maybe you double up on Fnatic, but who knows? Maybe Crew upset them and Fnatic just get pushed down to losers automatically.
But then maybe they win the whole losers bracket run and rack up points against lesser teams, so it might be better to pick Fnatic and they lose.
Maybe.
Yeah, a lot to think about. But back to the Sentinel pick, I have Kryptix. He's a Killjoy Viper player. Personally, I think he's better for the controller pick, but you can also pick him for Sentinel. The reason why I'm saying that he should be picked is currently nobody has him on their team. Last EU Challengers Finals, he had 188 kills, and he put up 85.72 Infamy score as a controller, which is more than any NA controller player has put up in any of our tournaments. Just saying.
Yeah, but like you gotta think, bro, they get 5 maps. Their numbers are higher, and when you're dominating a team for fucking 3 whole maps, you're gonna have.
But he's still a high fragger though, regardless.
What's his
so he still has to
consistency? His consistency.
Yeah, that's nice in there, all Darren. Sorry, do you have any more to say on your boy?
No, you can go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
your boy. Yeah, your boy's gonna get shit on. Like,
get shit on how, Jake?
Yeah. All right, my boy. All right. If we go over to Southeast Asia, Thailand specifically, with X10, This is a team we were kind of discussing before. That one of these teams that don't know how to lose because they just been shitting on people in their little small pond of Thailand, and then going into the Southeast Asia Challengers Finals, which is like a culmination of like 5 sub-regions of Thailand, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Malaysia, Indonesia. Sorry, I'm forgetting the last one. Oh, Vietnam.
Stop showing off, Jake.
But no, but they're really Sushi Boy on X10. He's their Cypher Killjoy player. He's a monster. Like he really thrives on defense and like finding these little like blind spots when the enemy kind of pushes in, and he's just in there, maybe with a judge or whatever. It doesn't matter. He's really consistent on just lurking and just like getting some multi kills and just winning the rounds outright.
It's not Sushi Boy. It's Sushi Boys. He's bringing the might of multiple
boys. Yeah, that's how good he is.
That's how fucking good he is. All right, he may have my boy on Sentinel pick, but definitely not on controller, and that's what it's about. Finding those sleeper picks that are gonna put up high points in the off rolls.
We were asking about Sentinels. We weren't talking about controllers.
Well, that's the Sentinel that I have from EU. If
Yeah.
anyone's interested in EU, but fucking my boy Kryptix, he'll definitely fill that controller slot. If not the Sentinel.
Any love for Fnatic's Magnum? We only have one person picking him currently.
Magnum?
He
100%.
Cypher Killjoy player.
Yeah, he's a Cypher Killjoy player. He's a very high risk, high reward pick because he's the flanker of Fnatic's. Derke's often is the duelist and often the initiator. They like to sub him in for using utility. They'll just send in Derke, similar to a Baby Bay, except they don't have to invest as much in him. And Magnum will be on the side, but because he's often on the side, if teams catch on to that early, he can just get taken out the game, and that'll net you less points. But if they don't, I've seen him net 3 kills and even 4 Ks just on flanks alone.
You got to have him
He's
on
gonna
the
lose
back
to
foot,
crew.
though.
He's gonna lose to crew
Yeah.
first round though. So
You think
Shame.
so? I don't know, man. That's not how I got my bracket, bro. That's not how I see it going.
it isn't gonna reflect in my. Or it might a little. I don't know. I don't think I'm taking any Fnatic people from my team. But any other Sentinels, or can we move along?
I'm trying to think, man. There's so many good picks, honestly.
Dapper
it's
was
just-
super popular pick as well with 20%. But
Yeah.
again, just back to the NI bias. But
Yeah,
Bro,
honestly,
I really I can
They're good,
see
though.
the 6 Sentinel pick that a lot of people are picking, but I don't know, man. I
I just
just
don't think you're likely to lose a lot on it. Like, how bad can that really sink you? Because even if they do fail out, like 6 should still probably do pretty consistently.
Yeah, he's consistent. That's why I picked him in like all our other tournaments, because he's consistent. Like over 10s. Like yeah, 10s might score more depending on like their run, but Sick is always putting up consistent numbers. He's a
Yeah,
safe pick, and like I think that's why a lot of people have him.
Tens
you
was
wouldn't take him as a
lackluster.
duelist, but since he's available as a Sentinel, pretty solid pickup.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but he-
let's go over to duelist because 10's stonks are dropping hard from last tournament to this one. Only 6 people have chosen him so far. Probably because there's so many other good duelists that
Yeah,
outclass
fucking
him.
And
Scream
his-
is so good.
his performance
Please.
last tournament was he publicly apologized. Even he knew that he,
Wow,
he
that's a Korean
wasn't
move.
showing up.
Yeah, apparently he's shaky on land as well. So people in our Discord were like saving up for the. Don't worry, this is just a step in his. They're already plotting his downfall. The redemption arc is ready after he loses out in Iceland.
See, NA already right now. But fucking for EU duelists, Derke or Dirk. I was just talking about him coupled with Magnum. He's like a Baby Bay with less utility put into him. He had in the EU finals, he had the second most kills in the entire tournament with 224, and he had the highest Infamy score with 101.95. Currently sitting at a 35% pick rate in our tournament, so people aren't really sleeping on him, but I really do think that he's the duelist pick, and he'll probably be my duelist pick
I don't think he's the
if
duelist
anything.
pick. I think he's the initiator pick because he also has Sova, so you kind of get to sneak a little extra duelist in your lineup if you put him there.
Don't tell him to hack, Steve. We gotta win. I want to win.
All right, last hack I'm reviewing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what this video is about. But yeah, no, that's why I was gonna do with him too. Because honestly, he's such a good pick too. Because he's even up when the rest of the team is down. When they lose, he's still positive, like in the double digits. Like, and
Yeah.
it's consistent for like the last 20 games too. So like, and they didn't lose a lot. But like, even when they're up against a team like TL, the kid's still like, even in the finals, he was plus 20. Like, that's fucking huge points.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. The synergy between him and Magnum is a massive part of the Fnatic playstyle, and he, like you said, like he always manages to pop off. He's the only EU duelist outside of Scream. Oh, he's the only other option for a duelist from EU.
What about Jampy?
Jampy's nice, but like he's not nice enough. Like when you're going up comparing his stats to.
Everyone's always next to Scream in this.
Yeah,
in this
it's like you could pick Jampy. We were talking about this off camera, but Jampy, if he was available as a Killjoy pick, definitely Sentinel pick, lock in right there. But as Jet, there's definitely people who are gonna put up more numbers than him. No disrespect to Jampy.
Even then, it's like there are so like Sentinel and Duelist. Like I feel like those are like the tightest picks because it's like okay, like you have a lot of options, and it's really just like, okay, what team am I going to double up on? And like, where do I think like the bracket's going to go that they're going to optimize their points? Like, because you don't want to have a situation where it's like, where like Cloud9, where it's like, okay, they lost, and then they're fucking playing a whole bunch of fucking shit teams in the losers bracket, and it's fucking up their infamy score in the long run. Like, you don't want to like. That's what I'm afraid about, like doubling up on Sentinels, because I'm like, what if they lose to Fnatic? What if they lose to Fnatic and now they're in the fucking losers bracket and they're not going to be shitting on them? Because it's not like even the worst teams are good. So I'm like,
that's my whole thing against NA. I just based on what I know about other games and how competitive scenes are set up, just
how bad NA is.
I'm presuming that all the rest of the world is at a little bit higher of a level, and like the shit that Sentinels is
NA's like when everyone's a fragger, no one's a fragger. Like
yeah, like they're gonna like try and pull their fragger double duelist bullshit, and I just feel like everyone's ready for that, from what I've seen at least.
Yeah, Brazil in particular, like the two teams, Sharks and Vikings, coming from Brazil. They're like, Brazil's kind of known as like the super hyper aggressive style, but they actually are more like of a passive in comparison to the other two top teams in Brazil, and that's how they beat them to get there. So they're definitely going to be ready to negate any crazy jet play. But crazy jet play, this is the only role I'm looking at V1 for. I think Penny and Zelsis could be unexpected winners if they don't get too roughed up in the bracket, but Penny could pop off.
Dude.
As a duelist pick, really?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They're down.
But if you want to double up, do you want to be doubling up with your duelist? Probably. If like say you wanted 2 EU or 2 Brazil, is one of that 2 gonna be your duelist or your flex?
I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
If you're picking 2 teams, 2 players from EU or Brazil or something, is one of those 2 players going to be your duelist? You imagine?
Yeah. I'll pick one of them's gonna, because duelist is
arguably
one of the most important roles, because.
But then because it's such a high scoring role, you can go to another region that it wouldn't be as expected and still get a decent point getter, and then get like a solid controller and initiator from your bigger regions.
I mean, honestly, like with a controller, like the way that the rest of the world plays, like if everybody played like NA, then you would be hard pressed to pick a controller player. Maybe I would pick that way. But a lot of these people don't play like heavy duelists. It's not double duelist meta, you know, like they were saying. So like you have a lot of options there. It's just like picking one that works with your team comp, because you do want to prioritize your fraggers, because like they're going to get you the most points. how the system is set up. So like you want to prioritize that first.
But if other regions are less emphasizing on their duelists, then wouldn't like their controllers, initiators, sentinels be getting more frags?
Yeah,
That's kind of how I set up my recommendations for picks. Those off picks like Magnum, you can pick him as a sentinel, and he'll frag heavy. Or Kryptix, you can pick him as a sentinel or controller, and he'll frag heavy. So finding those picks, like Steve's saying, that they're those sentinel roles or those support roles, you want to call them, but they're gonna get those large kill counts, will boost your infamy score.
Then, going off that, you got to look to crew and LATAM, Mizzino in particular. Like their whole setup, particularly on Haven, is like a 1-3-1 split, kind of reminiscent of like if you watch some hockey, that's like how all the teams will set up their defense, like one really mobile player up front, then like the 3 supportive players in the middle, and then another one in the back.
Or basketball.
Better sports hockey by far, not even a comparison.
The world would disagree, but continue.
I mean, entertainment-wise, and it's actual contact sport, but we're gonna go with Mizzino.
It's acting as well.
You haven't seen Ron Artest fight the crowd, Jake.
Bro, wow. What that happened? Watch some old-time hockey where they go into the crowd and punch in a bunch of people. Amazing.
That's what he did.
That's what he did.
But these guys are going over the boards, full gear, decking people.
My boy dove into the stands and punched a fan. No.
Again.
Headed to the cheap seats.
Again.
Okay. Bringing it back to reality. V1, trash. Don't deserve to be here. Penny is a bad pick. 100%.
I don't know. Everyone is doubted on V1, as we saw through, what was it, Challengers 1 that they qualified, or Challengers 2 that they qualified for?
1 and then finals.
Yeah, like,
bro, they're Look, if you look at the stats, they're scraping by every fucking time. It's just not a good fantasy pick.
Yeah. I'm just playing devil. Oh, calm down. I'm not picking them. I'm just playing devil's advocate for them. But
that's how I feel
before the chip hits my brain and I have no energy, Jake, I gotta get loud.
All right. Well, I'm gonna counter you with Mizzino on crew. I'm hyping them up a lot. They got because got some fellow countrymen with their like mainly Chilean, so I gotta rep them. And they do kind of dance around with the double duelist on a couple maps, but not the majority of the time. And that's why I would pick Mizzino as like your possible controller, because he does also play the Viper, or if you want him in Sentinel, he does play Sage, but he does pop off on Phoenix as well. And going back to the 1-3-1, like they set it up where like he will be on one site by himself, and they rely on him to like lock down, let's say like A, and then they'll have like another guy, who is it? I think it's Delzik. Like he'll hold down like C or the opposite side, and the other 3 guys will be in the middle. And if like their whole plan is to like just stall and rely on their solo ability to, either get a pick or just delay them with their utility in time for the rest of the team to rotate over. And so I would pick up Mizzino as a possible like flex or one of these supportive roles, because he can frag out.
Yeah, I think he'd be a waste as a flex because he can slot in so easily, like you said, to a controller or Sentinel, but also pop off on the Phoenix, so it's, snake another duelist.
Exactly.
I'm writing this down right now. I'm writing this down right now for what I'm like, I might have to snake that. No, well, I mean, like, dude, my role that I have to fill is fucking controller, and I'm like, I gotta fucking pick my optimized fucking team. Like, I'm
who you need for controller.
Yeah, so he's definitely a good one. We'll see how much Viper they play now with those nerfs coming in, but I still feel like she's going to be run the majority of the time. But if you want like a flex duelist that hard carries their team in terms of kills, and again like more efficient Baby Bay, again going back to X10 with Patapan, going into their Challengers playoffs where they qualified, he had 244 kills, where the rest of his team, the second closest one on his team, was at like 198. And then he's also getting the vast majority of the first kills. His first kills to first death ratio is 70-39. He's out, out going crazy.
That'd be a lot more impressive if it was in a different region.
Agreed.
Yeah,
that's
but,
what I
like-
was worried about.
But he,
I really
like,
wonder,
he doesn't require like any utility outside of his zone. He's able to go in, create space, get a frag, and then like scurry away or whatever. And let the
But
rest
my
of his team
concern-
come in. Like he is a monster. You gotta.
Yeah.
My concern with those type of players, though, is like you got to look at the skill level across the board, and like I don't know if these kids are gonna get away with some of the shit that he was getting away with in that series.
Yeah.
In Masters, like some of it's looking sketchy.
Yeah,
Some
that's
of
why I
it's
said
looking
Magnum's
sketchy.
high risk, high reward because he does those crazy flank plays, but like that can easily turn into the reason why they lose.
This would be a very good tournament for that not working. Like,
Yeah. But like
Full
my thing was
raise.
like you don't see him, like you see him like he doesn't die that much first like for these many kills that he gets. So he's going in like it's a calculated aggression where he's going in just enough to incite a fight and most likely win it, and then not overextend and get like over gun happy to try to get like a second one or whatnot. So it's something. To
Yeah, I mean,
consider.
I'm gonna be real. He's my flex pick, but like, I don't know, man. I'm questionable about it, but like, I need that fourth region,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping he's my yay. I hope he's my yay. Bro.
Mhm.
He's my yay.
That's what I'm most interested in seeing. Like all these regions have their different strats, which I was pretty impressed with. So that like all teams have their go-to plays and their own like playbook or their own arsenal of strats that they use. And going into this are things like Oceania being a smaller region where, what's his name again, Jake? Paddypan,
Taliban.
where he can get away with playing this stuff. Is it because the region's smaller and there's a lot less talent, or is he just that good? Like I'm interested
think-
in seeing how things like
You're
that.
gonna find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like when it was in Thailand, they were shitting on everyone, and then when they went to the greater regions of like the 5 of Southeast Asia, it was a little closer, but he was still fragging out. He was still shitting on people, and something to consider. Like I assume that they also scrimmage maybe Korean teams, Japanese teams, like the other regions nearby, because Taiwan.
You know those people we've barely talked about.
Yo,
I
I'm gonna be
mean-
real. Fucking crazy raccoons honestly should have been in it. It shouldn't have been in it. Fucking JP should have been fucking in it. They were way better the whole time. The whole fucking series. They have way better stats, and then they just fucking threw the last
You know
game.
Blake's
and I'm
serious
like,
when he starts doing this behind
Because
the.
I was watching.
That boy was disappointed.
Way more fun watching them than I was watching. I had to watch all of them. I'm like, this is terrible. Yo, JP had the moves. They have the fucking roster. Like my boys, Crazy Raccoons are gonna be out early, but Neff is like the only one worth picking on that fucking team. Maybe Munchkin's okay, but like honestly, for a fucking duelist pick, you have way better fucking people that you could be picking if you really need somebody and you just like want to rep the Crazy Coons. Like,
I don't think people are having too much difficulty finding a duelist ad. So let's move over to controllers, which is like can really make or break your fantasy team, because if you choose the right one, it's like unexpected points out
Massive.
of nowhere. And
Yeah.
then, yeah. So we haven't really talked much about Brazil, but this is these off rolls are really where their key players are. Like Viking Sadak. He's a Viper player. Not only 2 people have picked him in our tournament so far, but he is a gnarly one to watch out for. And also Shark, I think people are kind of underestimating, because I guess the people aren't really sure where Brazil stacks up in the grand scheme of things. Like a lot of people have them kind of high, but obviously like they're gonna lean more towards Vikings because they won.
They
in
slapped
Brazil.
them twice. They
But-
slapped them twice.
Yeah, but people are sleeping on Shark because they I think Shark could definitely upset some of these other teams, or they could go out early against the better teams and then like clean up big time in the losers bracket perhaps, because I don't think any of the like bottom half teams are really going to be able to stack up against them. So Light would be their Omen player would be a good controller pick as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was like, Light is really consistent. Like, if you look through their game history, like he's one of their better players. I just worry that they're gonna like you said, they might go a little bit farther in the losers bracket, and the matchups are gonna be so competitive that he's just not gonna be worth the pick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you think they
Like,
might get through it? Like, even if they do win, you think it's gonna be with like a pretty
They're
like
gonna be
poor KD?
yeah, they're gonna be fucking close games, and that's not what you want. You want blowouts, and like you want like even if your guy team loses, as long as they are fucking putting up numbers, it doesn't really matter. It's not gonna affect you in the long run, and that's what concerns me about the Sharks. Like Brazil, at like their standing is ambiguous, and they're definitely not as good as Vikings. So like it's concerning. I'm so afraid to pick them. And then two, like if you look at where is it? Actually, they don't have an extra one.
Yeah.
Like that's what concerns me about picking like Fnatic, because they have that extra game. Like how is that going to affect their stats? Like I want to pick some Fnatic boys, but they got that extra game. It's
extra
like
opportunities. You know, it's
it could work. It could work
weaker
in their favor.
team.
Yeah.
But Blake, who do you think? Any thoughts on who's going to win between Sharks and Korea's team the first round? I think that's really going to set a lot of the powers.
I think
of,
I think Sharks are going to beat them, and like honestly, I want to see the X10 upset against Vikings, but like I see if that happens, I see Vikings shitting on the lower bracket until one of the bigger teams gets knocked out. Like what I see happening is like Fnatic beating, like I want to see Fnatic beat Sentinels and have Sentinels run the gauntlet in the lower brackets and just take out some of these like dark horses like X10. Like I see them like coming out of fucking nowhere and like putting up some big numbers.
Sentinels out early.
Not out early.
Not out early.
They're gonna go run. Nah, I don't think so.
I'm just saying. That's.
I mean, maybe. I mean, like
I
think they're overhyped.
Do you see NA getting out, like both NA teams getting out before both EU teams?
Bro,
Yes.
honestly, they're gonna beat Japan. V1 is gonna beat Japan and then lose to Team Liquid, and then they're gonna lose to a Brazil team immedely. So it's gonna happen to them. It's not. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Believe in V1, Blake. You believed them last time. They need
No,
power.
the Brazil teams are good though, and like honestly, like with these like for a fantasy team, you don't want anybody from V1 because it's gonna be fucking close every fucking time. Are they gonna be the most fun to watch? Hell yeah.
They're the darkest of dark horses here. I feel like
they're too dark, man.
No, dude, the crazy raccoons are the darkest. What are you talking about?
It's black. You can't even see them.
Yeah, you can't.
They're in the trash.
Crazy.
A little in the trash.
They take you down to the trash with them. That's their strategy. But any other controller players you guys looking at?
My overall recommended controller player from EU would be Kryptix, but second and third place would be Magnum. And if you're not about that Magnum flank life, there's also Boaster. He's more of a safe controller pick. He's known for his Brimstone, really good on bind with it. But the thing I don't like about Boaster is that he doesn't get a lot of kills. He has an average KDA, and we've been talking about for a while how important it is to just be a fragger. So he's a good controller pick, but not the best.
Yeah, I got an off pick fucking for my NA boys. Fucking Zoms, yo. Fucking Zoms. He's consistent.
Nation.
Yeah, Zoms.
Holding down the back.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean my boys in the back.
Holding down the
guess
dirt.
what? He's not dead. He's not dead. I mean, honestly, he dies first a lot too, which is awful for him, which is why I
He's
never
not
fucking
dead.
pick him. Yeah, because there's whoever is fucking like you guys, like we were talking about before, these motherfuckers that are flanking around always catch this kid slipping. But like,
Oh, what are you
like-
doing in my back line?
yeah. Oh, didn't see you there, but I don't know, man. He might be a sleeper pick because like he's just inconsistent. So I personally would never pick him, but like I can see him doing well. Also, stakes are high. Time to put on. Maybe he'll do really well
Yeah.
this fucking.
My
This run.
my pick, I think, is going to be Delzik from Crew. I'll admit I just saw their finals game, but he was rocking it, man. I think he could maybe get some damage done early and then get knocked out while he's at a high KD. You know.
Who's this kid from
Zelk.
Vikings?
Vikings.
Which one?
Zadik,
Oh,
yeah, he's
yeah.
only 2 people have picked him, so definitely a sleeper pick.
For controller?
Yeah.
he's
No,
Viper.
he's huge. No, he's fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, he's like half the fucking people picked him, bro. He's high pick.
Maybe I can't count.
Oh,
Nah,
Sadik?
One
one of the numbers got fucked up.
It's
Yeah,
two.
Sadik. Nah,
Yeah.
a lot of the
It's
people.
no, it's
picked him.
12.
It's
I don't
12.
know. I don't know
Uh,
enough about him. Let me look at him real quick.
Yeah,
Set
mad
me up
people
for
That's
failure.
That's not It's not yet. No, you gotta fucking have the spreadsheet open, my guy, so that you can. That's what I do. I wait until everybody makes their team, and then I just fucking like, oh, he looks good. Get some
Cherry
ideas.
picks
Fucking
the
sleuth over
Yeah, I
here.
cherry picked about fucking your boy's a
Sly
snake.
Cooper.
People are
Go
picking
from
Scary from X10, which I don't think is a smart pick. He's
Me neither.
based on how they play, he's like way in the back and very supportive. Like his KD is like half than like some of his other teammates. Like he's not that's just not his role. And if they're, it's gonna be a tough ask to go against Vikings for their first game, and then even if they beat them, they have to go against Sentinels. So it's gonna be tough. So like I think there's better options than Scary, especially if you need to branch out your regions, and you go with X10. They're again Sushi Boy or Patafan are better picks, I think.
Who's your last pick? Who's your fucking last? Like, what region is like your bottom of the barrel pick? Because like, I'm picking like my my Dualist and my Sentinels from like EU and NA. Because like I feel like those are the most competitive scenes, and like, so like I think they're gonna put up consistent numbers, but we'll see, right? And like maybe going far in the tournament is actually detrimental to you. Maybe you should pick a whole bunch of shitters early that are gonna pop off, and you might do well.
Yeah,
But,
for those unfamiliar, Nbox's Gay is like a consistent like top 4 performer in our fantasy tournaments, because even though they go out like 2-0, 0-2, he carries hard. Not hard enough, but he carries hard enough to earn some Infamy points. So.
Not enough, but he's there.
We
works
care
out for
about
you.
you care about
So,
fraggers
like-
over here.
Yeah.
So like I'm picking from NA, EU, and then I'm gonna pick Brazil. Now I'm like, what is my fucking fourth region? So like, what region out of the bottom tier regions should I fucking pick? I was gonna go with like some like off the wall. Like I was thinking like somebody from crew, but I don't really know, man. I'm like questionable
this
about
is
it.
messed
So
up.
let's finish off the last role in initiators here, and like I said before, I feel like initiators controllers is a good one to look towards Brazil for. I think Sassi was a huge pick, like 42% of people picked him up, and he's like a star player for Vikings, so he's a good move. And as well as we mentioned Derke, even though he's a jet player, he qualifies as an initiator because he plays a lot of Sova, so that's like a nice sneaky pick for you there. And then underrated, I think Denaro on Sharks over in Brazil. I think that could be a really big pickup if Sharks like overperform. He's a nut. So as long as his team plays to their peak, I think they could really pop off, and he would be at the forefront of it. Any other initiators?
Man, there's not.
Initiators, yeah, we already got mine with Derke and.
What about Shazam?
Shazam,
Two
Shazam is
people.
good.
Two
But
people
like
picked
I can't justify if you're gonna pick an NA person to pick Shazam. It's like it's fucking dude. It's like picking zombies. It's the same thing. It's like my guy's there, but like
he's standing next to Dapper and Sick. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's so many better people to pick on that team. Like even Tens, even if he's questionable on the land, I still feel like
yeah, I think Tens is a genuine sleeper pick. Like, which is weird to say, but
yeah, I don't know, man.
because people are down on him.
Yeah,
They're just
he's
even
got
him,
something.
even him.
He's got something to prove, but like I don't know if I'm trying to fucking risk my $5 on that.
That's a sad boy. That's a sad boy, and sad boys don't do well. You know what I'm saying? No, he's out. He's out. Shazam though, I like him at like on Sentinels, and I like the way like if you give him an op, he's fun to watch. But like as far as fucking picking him on my team, hell no. Hell no. I'm gonna say hell no.
I mean, if it would like in NA, yeah, but like when the roster's this stacked,
Yeah, there are better picks. I don't know who, because I picked Dirk. Dirk is in, locked in early. That was like one of the first ones where I'm like, yeah, I'm picking him. I'm just questionable about it because I'm afraid like how Fnatic is gonna do in the bracket, and that might fuck me over. Even though
they're gonna roll
solid.
Sentinels.
How did they do in their Challengers finals? I forget.
They lost. They lost at TL, but they did pretty well. I think they only lost 2 games.
How did they do against the Turkish teams? Because kind of forget that they did incorporate the Turkish region into those. So like you had pseudo minor region playing against more mainland European teams.
Here's the rest.
While you figure that out, Lakey, I want to give a shout out for an initiator on over in Korea. Could be a good pick if you're just like, oh, I need another region and I want like a not super impactful role to slot it in. Initiator could be a good one.
Short answer, Jake, they shit on all of them, and that's why they got so far.
Yeah, they
2-0'd
everybody. Fnatic 2-0'd everybody except for
they lost.
They only lost to Liquid.
No, they lost to Ascend too, but I think that was like the first.
Yeah, they're playing Sentinels.
What team is this again?
Fnatic.
This is Fnatic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they lost to Ascend early and got knocked down, and then they got and then they played a whole bunch of Turkish teams.
I don't know. I still think that they can have the potential to perform well with how hard their kids frag.
I just like Dirk because he's considered he even when they're down, he's up. So like he's just a good pick.
He's definitely like a yay, the yay pick.
That's why I picked him. I'm like, this kid, like, you gotta pick like one kid that you like, because not everybody can win. So like, you gotta plan for like who's gonna lose, and like that's my guy that's probably gonna be out early and put up some big numbers, and like keep a consistent Infamy score for me. Where like, if I pick like a TL person, like they might win it all, but the player that I pick might be fucking middle of the road because how many games they played.
Yeah, just to close that out, what do you guys, any big bold predictions for the actual tournament? Teams to watch, unexpected, or how do you think it's gonna play out?
You're kind of like stuttering and being a robot, but I think I got what you said. You said any bold predictions for the overall tournament?
Someone say what to say. Yeah.
Both of your shits are fucking up. So who do we got as the final picks? Me personally, I'm going with Team Liquid all the way, the Liquid fanboy, and I think that let me pull up the fucking bracket and I'll run it through. Fnatic crew, Fnatic, Sentinels Fnatic, I think Fnatic, and then Team Vikings X10. I think Team Vikings is gonna win that. Version 1 Crazy Raccoons.
You're doing it in the most confusing way ever. Who
I'm going through
think is gonna win?
Yeah, we don't need the whole bracket there. Just give us 2 picks. Who's gonna win it, and give us a dark horse.
Team Liquid, dark horse. I'm going with New Turn.
New Turn.
Fuck New Turn.
Just because I don't know much about them.
Ah,
they're out.
all right, ignorance. all right.
Ignorant. I'm claiming ignorance.
Who do you think is gonna fucking come in second? Who do you think is gonna be in the grand finals against TL?
Grand finals against Team Vikings.
Do you think Vikings are gonna make it all the way?
Losers?
Yeah.
Two losers. Yeah, we think.
Who knocks out Vikings? Fnatic. I guess Fnatic would knock them out.
Yeah.
But then TL would knock out Fnatic, and then the Vikings would have to beat Fnatic again.
Because the way that it's going to shake out,
for maximum
Vikings they're either going to play Fnatic or Sentinels, and then like they either lose or win, and then they play TL, lose the TL, and then they fucking play the same team again. Realistically, because the way that I see it going is like TL either. And then Sentinels, Fnatic, Vikings, in whatever order the bracket shakes out at, we're like, all right, one of them gets shit on by like the dark horse. crazy fucking raccoons coming all the way from the bottom.
You mean V1?
No, fuck.
Nah, yo.
It's like there's no way.
Look, there's no way, dude. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose to fucking team. They're gonna beat Crazy Raccoons. They're gonna lose to Team Liquid, and then either Vikings or Sharks are gonna take them out. I'm just saying. That's how it's gonna quote me on it.
Yeah, this is the one region I don't know much about at all, but I'm feeling Fnatic. I think you guys are sleeping a little on Fnatic since they have to go the longest and into that like tough upper bracket as well. But I don't see it. Like, maybe they'd run into trouble against Team Vikings or Sentinels, but I don't know.
No,
I feel like
I
it's
mean,
a good
top
run
four,
to the
bro.
finals.
Well, Team
I have them
Vikings is
top
the team
four.
that you said was really good against Dualist, no? Or that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Good
the
against
reason that,
aggression.
yeah, that's why I said that, because Fnatic, they have Derke, and he's
We're calling him
hyper
Dirk.
aggressive. Dirk, yeah,
Dirk.
Dirk
Dirk.
Nowitzki. Dirk, he's hyper aggressive, and then you have Magnum on the flank, and if Team Vikings is prepared for that, then I can just see them cleaning it up easily.
I think the upper bracket is just so much harder. Again, going back to Crew and X10 for the minor region teams, I think are just going to be stronger than your Raccoons, your V1, your New Turn. So I think
Yeah.
whoever comes, like, if there's a team, whether it be Fnatic or Vikings, as you guys are hyping up, if they just dominate and crush whatever team it is, the upper bracket, I think that's going to be a big favorite for contesting probably TL in the finals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If like it comes down to like those three, because I don't think Crew or X10 are really gonna go
I want
far.
Crew to be my dark horse, but I think they have such a rough bracket that
Both
that's a
those teams.
miracle
I
run.
want,
Dude.
I'm hoping both of them do well. But if one of them was like in the lower bracket, I think they would just make a better run, because I think either both of those teams, like Crew and X10, would most likely, I think, would beat V1 pretty handedly. And then they would just probably get shit on by Liquid, because it's Liquid.
That's exactly what it's
Bro,
looking like.
I picked New as my dark horse because I can just see they beat Sharks, and then Liquid fucks it up, and next thing you know, New's in.
No way.
I can see it. It's
Not
motherfuckers get nervous.
The top 4 teams are crazy. Or top
I'll throw
3, yeah.
fives on that, honestly. I'll throw
Bro,
fives.
if there's anything I've learned from doing these Valorant tournaments, it's that fucking anything is possible. Like fucking.
Yeah, because NA is such a shit show. Like, these are professionals down here. Team Liquid was looking like fucking SEAL Team 6 in that fucking tournament.
But you gotta
Shitting on
think about
everybody.
it too. Like, people are bringing new strats to the table. It's like, well, I think it was Sideshow, Steve. You sent us a clip, and I like fucking ever since he said this, I've been thinking about Valorant this way. You don't have to be the best. All you got to do is just catch them slipping one time, and Team Liquid's in the losers bracket.
Do you think?
You don't have to.
You gotta think though, like,
If they can't adapt fast enough to your bullshit, dude, that's all it takes.
Fucking legacy org like Team Liquid, you don't think that they fucking were playing the long game and have a couple strats in the bag that they're not even using in scrims right now, that they're gonna pull out like for later in the bracket? They got like 1 or 2 plays in the back. Like, that's what I've been thinking about the whole time. I was like, who's been sandbagging and has like a whole bunch of plays in the
If you want to say
bag?
that, V1.
No, dude.
Even they don't.
How
know their
can they be
plays.
sandbagged? They just changed another roster because Whippy couldn't make it. They're constantly changing out
dude.
boys. They're looking like
That's
immortals
what I'm
over
saying.
here.
You can't prepare for them.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't.
Whippy was the only one that I wanted on that team, and he wasn't even in it. I'm like, fuck these kids now.
I don't know.
I don't know,
My upset to look out for is Sharks versus Team Liquid. Because that looks like the expected trajectory going into what winners semis or winners finals there. So look out for that.
Well,
They're gonna lose, my boy. They're gonna fucking lose.
Who?
And then
Sharks or Team
Sharks are
Liquid?
gonna lose to Team Liquid, dude.
Bro,
and then it's
fucking-
gonna come down to what Brazil team pulls it out in the lower brackets, and then like how it shakes out against because I see it like upper finals. It's either gonna be Fnatic, Sentinels, TL, right? And then whoever, like, they got to be able to beat is Vikings good enough to beat Sentinels or Fnatic? And then I could see Vikings going to the fucking finals if they're that good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, realistically, I think like Vikings beat out Sentinels, lose to TL, and then come back into the losers to the grand finals.
I don't know. I could see Crew actually making a run. Two things. Their finals was a LAN, so they're one of the few teams that actually have LAN experience. And they're right next to the Brazilian servers in Chile, so I guarantee you they've been scrimming Brazil teams, so they have another region experience, and they're just a really well-rounded team. Like they're really carried by Nags on the Jet, but Koss, Mizuno, and Delzik are all really solid players that do put up the numbers. So even if like you are able to shut down like one of them, there's someone else who could step up. So I think that's my dark horse is Crew.
this is what I'm afraid it's going to come down to, and why I don't believe Sentinels is going to go that far in this league, because they have the technical skills, they just don't have the teamwork. Like their fucking
macro
teamwork is shoddy. Yeah.
I don't know, but that's like their main calling card is like the Sentinels.
Yeah, this
They're
Shazam
more than the
version.
sum of their parts, and their
these
their
kids-
parts are all out anyway. Like,
Yeah, they're all their parts are out of control, but like they're not cohesive, and like now that it's so tight, like now that the ceiling is so high.
Yeah.
Are
Now
they
that
gonna
every
be
team has a
consistently-
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to be able to consistently win their gunfights in like fucking this kid is in the corner on 2 and he just beats them out? Like, it's not. I don't think it's going to happen.
I think Sentinels are in like any given day team in this. Like, you know, you don't know what you're gonna get from them. They could be if they could play at their top performance all tournament and win it all, or they could flame out super easily.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of alluding to. That like it just takes one slip up and you're out. Dude, fucking like who you saying Crazy Raccoons beat your other boys, Blake? Who were who you didn't think they had any business beating, bro?
Yeah,
That's an
they
example.
honestly-
Team Liquid beat Fun Plus,
Yeah, but I don't know.
who
Sentinels
is
Sentinels
supposedly the
had that
best EU
experience.
team.
Sentinels have been on that end of the experience as well. Like gets the stupid upset, and they're still made it in first seed in NA. So maybe there's something to be said for taking that beating and coming out on top.
Knowing, I said it
Knowing how
off
to
camera,
lose.
but I'm like, not a lot of these teams also know how to lose. Like, everybody has fucking 10-game winning streaks and shit on their bracket. Like, it's gonna be interesting to see like what the mentality is when they're fucking down a map and a half, and it's like, how are you gonna turn it around? Sentinels has some experience in that, but like, let's see if they can back it up.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
I think past the first round of lower bracket, if you get knocked down there, those are going to be grinds, because I think like the first couple teams that get like the first teams to get eliminated, whoever's left, and you have to go through that lower bracket, that's going to be tough. Like,
Yeah, I think a deep lower bracket run is pretty tough to expect in this.
You're
Crazy
like,
cool.
You're not coming back. You're not coming back from the pits.
Dude, Crazy Raccoons are gonna beat TL, so they won't even have to worry about it, Blake.
They're
It's fine.
gonna win it all.
no,
From-
V1
from
Crazy
first.
Raccoons going to meet back up in the grand
Bro,
finals.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Version 1 Crazy Raccoons to win for everything.
Who wins? Who wins?
Who wins? I'm going with Crazy Raccoons at that point.
Yeah.
V1.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Coons. Let's go.
V1 Penny.
V1.
Never seen a jet like this. Just kidding. He's gonna get destroyed by everyone.
I don't know. You can keep Vanity and his cat ears over there. I'll go with Crazy Raccoons.
All right. Yeah, this is gonna be the best tournament yet, I think, just because it looks on the surface, wow, I can pick a stack team so easily. It's like, oh wow, I could make like 5 stack teams. So I'm interested to see what everyone comes up with.
Yeah, hopefully people change their teams with this information. We're giving you guys gold.
Yeah, good fucking luck beating me. The best.
Straight from our last money winner over here, Blake.
Big
Wow.
money. Big fucking money.
Big money, Blake.
Good fucking luck.
He says bet it all on Crazy Raccoons.
Yeah.
That's wait, who do you have winning it all, Blake? Everything.
Dude. Oh no, it's gonna be TL.
TL. Okay.
But it's gonna be finals. They're gonna grand finals. Fucking TL, crazy raccoon.
I'm pulling for Vikings. I don't care. Vikings win it all.
My heart,
Yeah.
my heart says Vikings, but my fucking $5 says TL. Bet it on TL.
Have them Venmo you. But yeah, sign up for our Fantasy Valorant tournament on our Discord. Link in the description. Let us know if you have any questions. We have a very friendly community that will tell you how to play our game, because it's maybe a little intimidating at first. I don't know. Shout out Illusions for giving us his little breakdowns. Gonna sneak that in at the end because I told you I would. Anything else?
We're gonna be doing Rocket League for the NA Major coming up as well, so you can sign up for that. Then we also Darren's FNCS coming back because Apex is having their championship up soon, so we'll have a tournament around that as well.
Yeah, FNCS heats were announced, so within 2 weeks there's going to be the FNCS finals, which we'll have a tournament for.
All the fantasy you can handle on one Discord.
Yeah, come join, make some friends, talk some shit, take Blake's money.
Talk shit while you're taking his money.
Preferably.
And then when I shit on you and make fun of you, it's all in good fun.
Yeah, it's twofold. If Blake does shit on you, he's not holding back. So.